besides having the vision, she's the one who also does most of the grant writing and just so much of the paperwork and just the legwork that it takes to get the grants. And so while we're talking about grants, we'd like to thank Missouri Arts Council, which is a state agency, and the Regional Arts Commission, who fund this so that we can bring wonderful artists like Mr. Ed Miller. And let me just tell you a bit about Mr. Ed Miller. Yes, he's nodding his head over there. So Ed is one of the finest singers to come out of the Scottish folk revival and brings his love of Scotland to every performance. Originally from Edinburgh, Ed now lives in Austin, Texas, where he hosts a folk music program on Austin's national public radio station. You can find that at Sun Radio, which I think is the largest solar-powered radio station in Texas, or yeah, it's a good show. Sunday afternoons, what, 6 to 8. And actually, he sings for all sorts of Highland Games, festivals all over the country. But I will bring him up and our UA concert choir. I thought that was obvious.
Thank you for coming out to support the kids today. I can't tell you what a pleasure it's been all this week and last week to, I was going to say work, but to sing with this wonderful group of young women who are tremendous singers. It's just a joy to hear voices like you're going to hear in a moment. I'm going to sing you a few Scottish songs, some old, a couple more recent. We'll start off with a couple of songs from the southern part of Scotland, an area called the Borders, because it borders with another country to the south of Scotland, England. It's an area that used to be very important historically and had lots of families like the Scots, the Armstrongs, the Kerrs, the Johnstons, the Maxwells, Nixons. Names that are quite familiar in this country are all border names from very southern part of Scotland. The main population now, however, is four-legged and woolly. You call them sheep. We call them yows, which is very convenient because it rhymes with the title of a place in a lovely song here called The Broom of the Cowden Nows, which is a typically beautiful and typically sad Scottish song about a shepherd who's lost his true love because he's fallen in love with the daughter of the man that owns all the land and all the sheep, and he's not going to let his daughter marry a lowly shepherd, so he has to go off and live in New Jersey or something and sing sad songs about missing the border hills and his true love and the sheep. Oh, blithe was I each morn to his knee, my lass on the hill. She skipped the barn and she ran to me. I welcome her in the world. Oh, the broom, the bonny, bonny broom, the broom of the garden now. Fain would I be my country, had a favourite young. We neither wanted sheep nor lambs, while the flock near was lame. We heard it in those sheep every night. She cheered me all the day. border country. Sing a song called The Rolling Hills of the Borders. A lot of people, when they go to Scotland, tend to rush through the southern part because they're in a hurry to get to Edinburgh and then go and look for the Loch Ness Monster and other horrible things like that in the north. And they miss one of the most beautiful places on earth, I think, the southern part of the border country between Scotland and England. It's not as wild and mountainous as the Highlands, but it's still gorgeous country. And so that's why this song was written, The Rolling Hills of the Borders. When I die, bury me low, where I can hear the Barbary flow, a sweeter place I never will know than the rolling hills of the border. I've travelled far and wandered wide, seeing the Hudson and the Clyde, of course by the Lord's side, but I dearly love the borders. When I die, bury me low, where I can hear the Barbary flow, a sweeter place I never know than the rolling hills of the border. So to young slopes of Queen Anne's, to pray or where the heather grows, that's where my wandering heart still goes, back to the hills of the borders. When I die, bury me low, where I can hear the Barbary flow, a sweeter place I never will know than the rolling hills of the border. So to Ettrickdale, or the yellow side, where the ghosts of the reavers they still play, with a ballad heroes I will find, deep in the hills of the borders. When I die, bury me low, where I can hear the Barbary flow, a sweeter place I never will know than the rolling hills of the border. So promise me that when I die, you'll spread my dust where the cardinals cry, on Laverne or Northwood High, deep in the hills of the borders. When I die, bury me low, where I can hear the Barbary flow, a sweeter place I never will know than the rolling hills of the border. When I die, bury me low, in the rolling hills of the border. I was actually hoping that some of you might have picked up that we sing the same words at the end of every verse. It's called a chorus, and choruses are for everybody to sing, not just the people on stage. So if the passion hits you, grab the chorus and join in. We're trying to hope that you might smile and enjoy yourselves. Sing a song here about a dance. There are some very genteel dances in Scotland where people dress up nicely, the men in their kilts, the women in nice white dresses with long tartan sashes. But there's also much less genteel ones. They're called ceilidh dances. And these are the ones where if your arms are not bruised the next morning, then you did not have a good enough time. Flinging people around and dancing all over the place. This song mentions several of those dances. And it's called Room for Us All in the Dance. And if you want to join in, that line, there's room for us all in the dance, is the last line of every verse and every chorus. So it's not hard to learn. We fill on the box and adding in the fiddle, we build at the top and then we dashed in the middle, and what she sees in on the box, and I am the fiddle, the girl at the top and the ash in the middle. What she sees in him is a riddle, and the room for a song and a dance. Then on and Rose will head, stepping away with marriage when, and someone will miss the way that was shed. There's room for a song and a dance. We fill on the box, and I am the fiddle, the girl at the top and the ash in the middle. What she sees in him is a riddle, and there's room for a song and a dance. And the cry goes up from strip the willow, the ties are off and the dress is billow, and the windy wind her put to shame and pillow. There's room for a song and a dance. We fill on the box, and I am the fiddle, with a riddle at the top and the ash in the middle. And what she sees in him is a riddle, and there's room for a song and a dance. With a Hamilton rant, the cashmere shawl, you can hardly hear the callers call. The din is bouncing off the ball. There's room for a song and a dance. We fill on the box, and I am the fiddle, the girl at the top and the ash in the middle. And what she sees in him is a riddle, and there's room for a song and a dance. But now it's time for Tottenham Hay. Most of the folk will limp and lane, and quite a few want neither lane, and there's room for a song and a dance. Fill on the box, and I am the fiddle, with a riddle at the top and the ash in the middle. And what she sees in him is a riddle, and there's room for a song and a dance. Take your partners, fill on the box, and I am the fiddle, with a riddle at the top and the ash in the middle. And what she sees in him is a riddle, there's room for a song and a dance. Thank you for the one person who did join in. That was lovely having you. I guess chorus singing is illegal at Ursuline. I'm sorry to hear that. This song is a quite contemporary song written by a woman from the very north of Scotland who came from a family of fishermen. And she learned from that way of life that you should never underestimate the power of the sea. And it's a song called Mistress. And any sailor, the sea is his mistress, and he'd better respect her. She uses a couple of really lovely old metaphors or motifs from traditional ballads in this song. One is the symbol of the new moon and the old moon still within the new moon in the sky, which is always a symbol of impending doom and disaster. And that's found in several ancient ballads, and the writer of this song has incorporated it in. So, Mistress. Her eyes are dark, her breast is deep, that steals a wedded woman's sleep, that tempts good men to the deep, and will not let them free. The moon upon her shoulder gleams, a siren on the ocean streams, who whispers in a seaman's dreams, no mistress have but me. My father was a skilly skipper, kind as he was brave. He claimed his friends the tide when his brother was the wave. His vessel she was thick and wild, strong and stout and stout, but they were taken by the sea. No man nor boat was found. Her eyes are dark, her breast is deep, that steals a wedded woman's sleep, that tempts good men into the deep, and will not let them free. The moon upon her shoulder gleams, a siren of the ocean streams, who whispers in a seaman's dreams, no mistress have but me. My brother joined a merchant man to travel a foreign land. He smiled and said, don't worry, as my mother wrung her hands. But in shorter than a 12-month, she'll run her handkerchief, for her baby was washed overboard, taken by the raging sea. Her eyes are dark, her breast is deep, that steals away a woman's sleep, that tempts good men into the deep, and will not let them free. The moon upon her shoulder gleams, a siren on the ocean streams, who whispers in the seaman's dreams, no mysteries have but me. Well, I wouldn't wed a sailor lad, a welder is my man, but he's new to the oars, and now in I stand. For I see an ancient tallman, a sign of doom and care. I see the new moon sailing with the old moon in her hands. Her eyes are dark, her breast is deep, that steals away a woman's sleep, that tempts good men into the deep, and will not let them free. The moon upon her shoulder gleams, a siren on the ocean streams, who whispers in her seaman's dreams, no mistress have but me. Get Diane up here on the piano. Do your song again, a contemporary song, but looking back to the middle of the 19th century. I know that some of you probably have Irish origins, and a lot of Irish people, in fact about 1 million Irish people, emigrated to this country in the middle of the 19th century because of the potato famine that struck throughout Ireland. A lot, however, went the opposite direction. Scotland was a lot closer than America, and a lot of people, particularly from Northern Ireland, crossed the water to particularly Glasgow, where there was lots of jobs. It was a big industrial city at the time, and there was jobs going for people. So it's a sad song about leaving Northern Ireland, leaving the green and going to the blue, the green of Ireland to the blue of Scotland. Don't turn to look on the green hills of Antrim, for miles behind you. It's time to move on. Look onwards to Glasgow and all your tomorrows. The future lies there and it's waiting for you. As the green crosses over to meet with the blue. And what was the use when the wee ones were crying? The cries of the hungry, no sense to remain. No prayers can recall a sister or brother. So farewell to Fermanagh, the praying is done. Don't turn to look on the green hills of Antrim, for miles behind you. It's time to move on. Look onwards to Glasgow and all your tomorrows. The future lies there and it's waiting for you. As the green crosses over to meet with the blue. For this land that you leave has had too many martyrs, too many people who've perished in vain, and too many ships slipping out of your harbors with sing with these young women. Tremendous. We'll finish off with something less serious. There's an old Scottish fiddle tune called The Flowers of Edinburgh, which can refer to various different things. However, a friend of ours put words to it a few years ago, and I have to explain some of the references in it. First of all, if you walk down the main street, the high street of Old Edinburgh, the old medieval part, as you pass the cathedral and look at the cobblestones on the ground, there's a heart shape that's been set into the cobbles, and it's called the Heart of Midlothian. Midlothian is the county that Edinburgh is the centre of, and that's the centre of Edinburgh. It's traditional, for some reason, to spit on that stone as you walk by. However, in modern times, there happens to be a professional soccer team in Edinburgh called Heart of Midlothian, or the Hearts. And if you're a Hearts fan, then you're supposed to spit on that stone for good luck. However, there's also another professional team called Hibernian, or Hibs, who wear green, they're of Irish origin, and if they walk past that stone, they're supposed to spit on it because they hate the Hearts team. So that's one Edinburgh tradition. The other is that at 1 o'clock every day from the castle, which is up on a rock about 500 feet high, at exactly 1 o'clock they fire a very loud gun. And this used to be to tell the ships out to sea what the time was, and as someone said, they could have used any error about being Scots, they only did it at 1 o'clock because they only had to pay for one shot. So you can tell in the centre of the city what people are locals and who are visitors, because if you're a local and you hear the bang, you kind of check your watch to see if it's correct. And if you're not from that area, then suddenly you go, oh, because there's this horrendous bang, and we'll see if we can put that in the song even. So it's a song called The Flowers of Edinburgh. And thanks so much to all of you in particular for coming in to support the kids.
and thanks so much for coming out this afternoon. Have a lovely weekend. One more round of applause for our lovely choir. And one more round of applause for Scottish Partnership and Ed Miller.
All right.